for inviting me here. I can clearly see why this particular show is such a great success. It's been brilliant sitting in since morning and absorbing so many speakers with such diverse experiences and discipline. And it's been wonderful being here. So thank you very much indeed, Sudhir, and the whole team of India Design Show who's been so kind and helpful. Thank you very much. We are living in a very strange kind of times at this point in time in our business, certainly in advertising. Branding design, not too far away from the world of advertising, or to that extent, what seems to have taken off quite greatly, which is digital marketing, performance marketing, events, PR, et cetera, et cetera. Now, whenever I think about all these disciplines, they're simply tools to sort of exercise what you know best, but ultimately you're really trying to build a brand that has come to you in order to sort of find some better future or find some business success. So keeping that in mind, I thought this precious 20 minutes, of which only 19 are left now, let me not spend too much time or not at all talking about my journey, because that could be a bit self-indulgent or perhaps not too useful. What's likely to happen in the universe of building brands, right? So, the more I was sort of trying to dive deep into this subject, I realized that, more than anything, particularly in the last 4 to 5 years, more than any other change, the change of brands now not having to go and do shiny campaigns, beautiful branding, great looking stuff, gorgeous, glamorous retails. More than anything else, I think people are seeking some kind of meaning, some kind of compassion, some kind of care, greater purpose from the universe of brands, which is quite ironic because people set up businesses to be successful in the world of, marketing and ultimately all brands are meant to be business in a sense. It's quite ironic that now brands have to also carry the weight of being useful or relevant, or more importantly, meaningful. So if you're not meaningful, then there's going to be a great challenge. So I'm just going to go through a bunch of case studies over the next 15 minutes and hopefully try and make a point as to what's likely to happen, what's already going on, and how we should watch ourselves when we're practicing this business. Very quickly recapping, brand build in the universe of advertising and storytelling, for years, design was static. Branding was simply meant that you create identity, you create great identity, great application, and brands projected images rather than lived realities. And like I was telling, there is some kind of sense one is getting out of what's going on culturally. Now is the time when advertising has kind of become conversation. Designing is increasingly becoming interaction. Branding is no longer about anything else but spell out the truth. And people don't just consume, they engage, question, and expect kind of great honesty from brand builders. And where we're likely to go in the future is, sure, this momentum will continue. Brands will create more experiences. They will try and live authenticity and co-create with people, which you've already seen. There are more participative, interactive campaigns that you keep saying. And the one who invite participation with meaningfulness will shape a strong culture. Good brands don't just evolve with time, they will evolve with people. And that's how things are going to go go ahead. Just going back to this point about being meaningful, being useful, being relevant, and having some sort of great purpose along with your business. One example that I have seen over the years who truly lived up to this expectation of people or sort of coming across as a brand that's not really there to make any profits or build business, build empires, or be powerful, and the owners sort of feeling a sense of conquering the world with their powerful businesses versus somebody who's just absolutely crazy to be doing things that the owner of Patagonia has done. They told customers, don't buy this jacket, urging repair over new purchases. They pledged 1% of sales to the planet and built OneWear to recycle and resell gear. In 2022, they gave up with the company, gave up the company in the sense channelizing all profits to fight climate change. From suing governments to supporting employees to, participating in protests, Patagonia shows that compassion is not a campaign, it's their business model. The lesson out of all this is compassion isn't just add-on, it's how brands earn trust and change culture. So this whole thing we did on site, which is, hey, let's do one CSR activity. We're doing a bunch of things that are great, look great, sound great. People feel excited by that. And let's just do this CSR token along the way so the brand looks sort of responsible and caring, perhaps isn't enough. And we are seeing the changes that are around the corner. Take a look at this video, you will realize what level Patagonia has gone to penetrate this point where you can truly build a great global brand and great business by just being compassionate.
If you've been paying attention, you'll know that things aren't going very well for the planet. Patagonia's reason for existence is to force government and corporations to take action in solving our environmental problems. Over the last 35 years, we've given nearly $90 million to grassroots activists, but recently things have gotten a lot worse. And we've asked ourselves, what more can we do?
If we could connect our community, our friends, our customers, directly with local groups near where they live, working on issues that they're passionate about, suddenly these organizations would have the capacity to achieve even more. Patagonia ActionWorks is a digital tool that facilitates human connection. Visit the site to search for issues that you're passionate about, and we'll connect you with the people doing the critical work of grassroots environmental action.
So that's what Patagonia ActionWorks is. It's kind of a dating site.
When we're needing help or we're needing voices, ActionWorks will really help us get that word out and amplify what the community is asking for and encourage others to participate with us.
The platform that Patagonia is creating really presents the opportunity for doing it differently. To be a response that matches the size of the crisis.
If you've been paying attention,
you could also look at innovation now. When you could have a brand and a business that's going on, and you in parallel look for a sort of innovative act on site, as against perhaps, can you actually create a brand out of a compelling feeling of compassion and care towards planet or otherwise, or towards this human race? And the next case study is really sort of, is a fairly self-explanatory as to the length they've gone to in order to really create a powerful brand that truly cares.
The way we make and buy clothes is not sustainable. Each item of fast fashion clothing is worn 7 to 10 times before being discarded. But there's one industry that discards things even faster: the professional sports industry. It's time to go beyond. Reduce, reuse, recycle. It's time to reboot. We created Reboot to be a circular business model, turning waste back into value for the teams. It's a collaborative brand and a modular system built to work with any team or league in the world. And we started off strong with Inter Miami and the MLS. Inspired by the idea of deconstruction and reconstruction. Reboot turned discarded jerseys into training academy kits, so aspiring players got to wear a uniform made of their idols' jerseys. Inter Miami's used gear also turned into multiple fashion collections that became official Major League Soccer merch. Instantly sold out. The items featured a tag with product traceability and the designers behind it. Reboot was also featured at Design District during the biggest art show in the world, the Art Basel. We partnered with artist Carlos Herrera and transformed club discarded gear into art. We're now working with artist Gary Lockwood to bring a new icon to life. Inter Miami's first ever official mascot, made entirely of repurposed club materials. That will be launched this season. Inter Miami is the first of many. We are working to expand to other MLS clubs, turning the sports industry into a sustainable business. Reboot. Change the game.
Right. I see the clock moving with the ferocious speed, so I'll just keep lines, 1 or 2 sentences, and I'll just focus on the
way we make
the more important point. In the world of branding and advertising, we want to make things look great. You just want them to be beautifully, aesthetically beautiful, attention-getting, get peers sort of nod as to, what a great craft it is, celebrate the craft, and all that is brilliant. And that must not ever go out of the game, because, the beauty of this business is also in creating something beautiful. Interestingly, now looking good isn't just any longer good enough. It has to be kind of backed by proof. So aesthetics combined with some kind of evidence of care or something greater will fetch you results. People expect evidence in what brands make, how they serve, and the role they play in community. Meaning comes alive, only words are matched by action. Now, the next case is by Renault. They could have just easily taken a path of discussing sustainability through their powerful, good-looking campaigns. But they didn't do that. They did something special. Have a look.
Renault, the leader in electric vehicles in France, is facing a business problem. There are already 1 million electric cars on the streets of France, but only 80,000 public charging stations, and very few located in rural areas. It's a real barrier to the electric transition, at a time where the world is facing huge ecological problems.
The European Parliament has given the green light to a plan to ban the sale of new petrol and diesel cars from 2035.
Le problème des voitures électriques, c'est bien évidemment l'accès à la charge. Il n'y a pas assez de bornes.
Mais le problème, il n'y a pas de bornes.
Les infrastructures suivent pas.
Renault presents Plug-in, the Airbnb for plugs.
Plug-in, c'est une application de mise en relation des conducteurs de voitures électriques avec les propriétaires de recharge.
A solution so people can charge here, here, or here. Because people like Mathieu, Nadège, or Gilbert have their own home charger, and there are 680,000 more in France. With Plug-in, drivers can plan their trip, find available home chargers, book them in advance, and charge at a reasonable price, while charger owners can turn their electricity into money. with a secure transaction system on the app. And this is everywhere in France, even in remote places like this. This is how we transformed a business problem into a new business model. With Plugin, we created the fastest growing recharging network for all brands, and soon for all countries, proving that electric cars can go everywhere while confirming Renault as the leader of the electric transition.
C'est Renault qui lance ça, ça s'appelle Plugin.
Plugin qui est gratuite. Une application créée par Renault.
So now, when people ask where the nearest charging station is, the answer is everywhere. Renault?
Moving on, like we were discussing, that just the beauty, craft, design is something that is needed, but that's not the only thing anymore needed. It has to become more meaningful. Yet another very interesting case where this whole aspect of branding and design and something aesthetics, how can that convert into empathy? You know, can the design strategy be approached in a way where empathy is your sort of key driver, your key strategic driver? And if that ingredient is included in the mix of crafting great work, then the result is always astounding. Great. Have a look.
Inflation.
Talking more about grocery inflation.
Some companies are rethinking what to charge, using electronic price tags to change prices
At the push of a button.
In such uncertain times, German discounter Penny demonstrates stability by turning their most popular Penny products into the first brand that is the price. Penny Price Packs. Price and product tied together permanently by design. The ultimate demonstration of price stability.
If you print it on the packaging, you can change it. That's our promise to our consumers.
Price Pack products are now available in all 2,100 Penny stores across Germany, providing clarity on the shelves.
Das hilft mir einfach bei der Entscheidungsfindung.
Der Preis kann sich nicht so schnell ändern, also man hat einfach eine Sicherheit.
Nein, da brauche ich keine Brille.
The new brand was promoted with an equally striking out-of-home campaign. For Price Packs quickly gained massive attention in stores and in the media.
Habt ihr das schon gesehen? Seit
Hier hat
kurzem?
Penny was Ultraschlaues
Diese
gemacht.
Aktion ist der Discounter Penny in die Schlagzeilen gekommen.
Helping Penny to strengthen their image and increase sales by not just promising price stability, but committing to it.
So ist es jetzt und so bleibt es jetzt erstmal.
I'll keep moving. Meaning is the new attention. We advertising folks and design folks, have a lot of tricks in our bags to get a lot of attention. Every time you come out with a clever campaign, a great proposition, or a unique idea, a unique expression, or simply how you tell a story. And we for years been trying to get people's attention, trying to connect with people with the power of the idea and the power of how you spell out that idea or how you speak it out. Now the thing is that that's all great, but could you add more to it, and could you add meaning to it above all? Because if you do that, then you will have a greater appreciation of your campaigns, of your expression. Here's an interesting case where how this brand captured the imagination of people with a very powerful, honest stuff that actually solved a very big problem. Have a look.
Man accused of killing his wife in their own home.
Woman found murdered by her partner at home. 26-year-old woman was killed by her husband inside her home.
Everyone always asks, why does she stay? Why would anyone stay with a man who beats her?
I stayed because
I didn't have anywhere to go. I didn't have any money. I didn't have access to any resources.
AXA, the leading insurance company in France, changes its home insurance policies. In France, home insurance is mandatory by law and already provides emergency relocation when a home becomes uninhabitable in the event of fire or flood. AXA adds these 3 words: and domestic violence. 3 words to help women escape.
Comme le montre la publicité, cet assureur garantit désormais à ses clients victimes de violences conjugales un relogement d'urgence.
AXA France.
La compagnie AXA lance une assurance pour les femmes victimes de violences.
Une nouvelle garantie permettant aux femmes victimes de violences conjugales d'être relogées. Le relogement, c'est l'une des nombreuses...
Est-ce que vous vous rendez compte à quel point ça pourrait aider les femmes qui sont dans ce genre de situation?
Ça, j'aurais vraiment aimé l'avoir il y a une vingtaine d'années quand j'en avais besoin.
When a woman calls the emergency number, she's immediately relocated. A driver picks her up and takes her to a safe shelter together with any children. She also receives free psychological, legal and financial support to help her find long-term solutions.
Cette garantie est accessible à toutes les femmes sans payer plus.
Même si le contrat n'est pas à mon nom.
Même si le contrat n'est pas à votre nom, absolument.
This clause has been included in all 2.5 million AXA home contracts, with retroactive effect.
Ce relogement, ça a été vraiment un sas de décompression parce qu'on respire, on arrive à revivre.
I've almost run out of time, so I'm going to skip a couple of chapters and come to the last straight away.
Every.
Yeah. A brand clearly is no longer about a logo or a campaign. It has to be a living system of experiences. Every touch point, from product to service to community, shapes trust and culture. Identity today is not what you show, but how you live. You know, you all know you're designers and you have created identities, but again, you know, could there be just one more thing beyond what we are known to do, what we're great at do in terms of our craft, and be able to add that special ingredient, that X factor of care, empathy, meaning, purpose, and then you're beginning to have an interesting mix in the world we live today as far as process of building brands are concerned, or creating identities are concerned, or creating conversation is concerned. Have a look at this case, and that explains where the world is going.
Tenemos que estar dependientes de una persona que ve. Si no, estamos buscando, pues, quién nos ayude, ¿no? Para saber qué es farmacia, tienda, banco, qué es, ¿no?
La gente siempre está corriendo, está apurada y no siempre está con la disponibilidad de ayudarnos.
In collaboration with Peru's biggest organizations for the visually impaired, Sol, the leading Peruvian cement brand, designed new tactile signage to enhance the current system, giving complete navigational independence in one of the most important districts in Peru.
Tenía que ser simple. Por eso usamos el mismo patrón lineal del sistema universal.
A horizontal bar indicates a tile where vertical lines can be counted to decode specific venues.
Aquí dice restaurante.
Banco. Bodega.
We created a program to teach them how to use it and spread the information with braille brochures and audio descriptions.
Alcalde de Miraflores inaugura sistema inclusivo para invidentes.
Con nuestra marca Cemento Sol estamos comprometidos con lograr que las ciudades sean más inclusivas.
Es el primer distrito que ha implementado el sistema de valor.
Es una idea que complementa al actual sistema.
Sidewalks.
Well, hopefully, I managed to get the point across where we'll have to, empower brands with meaning, greater meaning, deep meaning, and purposeful existence. Brand that thrive tomorrow will be those that act with proof, design with empathy, and live as experiences. The craft of advertising, design, and marketing must work together to create meaning, inspire connection, and empower people to shape the journey. Because in the end, the strongest brand are those that actually empower meaning. Those are the ones we appreciate greatly. Hopefully that makes sense to you. Thank you very much indeed.